Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Rabbi Cass. I'm a Sofer in Monsey, New York. Today I'm going to teach you how to tie the single Dalet, the Kesher for the Tefillin Shel Rosh, which is most commonly worn by people who wear Sefard or Chabad, and even many Chassidim also tie the Shel Rosh with the single Dalet. So today I'm going to show you how to tie the knot. Okay, so you'll take the Shel Rosh just like this, and again, before you tie any tefillin, you always have to say Harini Kodesh L'Shem Kedushas Tefillin, or in English, I am tying this for the sake of the mitzvah of the tefillin. Okay, so now the way we put the Retzuos through the Tefillin Shel Rosh is just like this. Gets a little stuck. Sometimes that happens. So if it does get a little stuck, what we'll do is we'll take a pliers. You can just reach it in there and give it a little yank just like that. Okay, so I don't know if you noticed the way I pulled it through. I kind of arched the Retzuos like this in order that the top of the Retzuos slides along the top of the passageway. That's called the Ma'avarta. The reason why I did that was because I find that the Retzuos slides a lot better when you arch it like this and you pull it through the bias. But once I get a little bit pulled through, I actually reverse the direction. I actually would go like this, and then I'll continue pulling it like this. Okay, now the reason why I do this is because when you pull it through, sometimes the top of the mavarta from the inside could not be so smooth, and what happens is if you continue pulling it through arched the way I had it originally, like this, which slides nice and easy, you risk scratching the entire top of the Retzuos. So at least like this, if anything's going to get scratched, it's going to be the bottom of the Retzuos. Okay, so the bottom of the Retzuos, if it gets a little scuffed over there, nobody notices, it's not a big deal. The bottom's not so smooth anyways, versus if you scratch the top, then that's going to be a much bigger problem. Okay, so we're going to continue pulling it through all the way. Now, one other thing I want to mention just before I show you how to tie the knot is you can see how the Retzuos is cut on an angle. A lot of times people ask me, why is the Retzuos cut on an angle? And in the Sofer, we like to joke, we always like to say it's al pi Kabbalah. But all jokes aside, the reason why it's cut on an angle is in order for the Retzuos to slide easier through the Mavarta, because if it was cut flat, it would get stuck. It wouldn't be able to slide through. When it's cut on an angle, it kind of slides through a little bit easier. And then also, like you saw how I pulled it with the pliers, this part I was just grabbing that bit of it with the pliers. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to actually tie the knot. I'm going to have to zoom out to show you how to measure it in order to do it properly. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, that'll have to do. Okay, so basically here you can see I have the Shel Rosh here. Now what I want to do is I want to go all the way and make sure that both ends are equal or very close to being equal. Okay, so if one side is a little bit longer like it is over here, I'm just going to simply adjust it just like that. Look, that was too much. And I'm going to go again to make sure that it is equal at the nope. Okay, take a little bit more from here. That should do the trick. Okay, now can you see how both ends of the Retzuos are equal? And the reason why that's important is because when we tie the single Dalet for the Shel Rosh, we do all of the tying with the left side. Now we know that when the Retzuos are hanging down, the right side has to be longer. There's different shittas on how long the right one has to come to, where the left one has to come to. I'm not going to go into that right now, but according to whichever opinion you hold, the right Retzuos has to be longer than the left one. So by starting off and making them both exactly equal, and then tying the kesher with the left side, you automatically end up with the left side being shorter than the right side. Okay, so now I'm going to put the tefillin back on the table to show you how to tie the actual kesher. Okay, so this is the left side. And this is the right side. Okay, so I have them both over here like this, and remember, of course, if you didn't say L'Shem Kedushas Tefillin. This is, you've got to say it. Okay, so I have them both like this. You know what? Okay. So you take both, I would say about 8 inches down, 8 inches. Give each side a pinch. Okay, just like that. Okay. 1 second. Okay. Okay, you got each side pinched. Okay, really, I know it's hard to see. Okay, so you see, I'm gonna have to put the camera a little higher. Give me 1 second. Okay, thanks for bearing with me. Okay, fine. So I have the tefillin like this. I don't know if you can see. I hope you can see this good. I pinched each side just like this. Okay, along the top, fold it down on both sides. Okay, once you have that, you have to bring the knots around just like this. Okay, so they're like this. Then the right side goes on top of the left side, just like that. Okay, now I can see already that this is going to be a little bit small, so I will just adjust the size of the Retzuos, just like that. Move the loop over, that looks like a better size. And here we go. Okay, so watch how we do it. This folds over. Be careful not to make it too much over. I usually do a little bit less than the width of Retzuos, because if you make it too much, if you do it like that, then you end up with a very fat and a very clumsy knot. So I try to make it a little bit less actually than the width of Retzuos, so it's nice and tight, the knot. Okay, so I folded that over. Now this is what I was talking about. You take the left side and it does the entire tying of the knot. Okay, so here's the Dalet. So I go through once, and I go through again. Now I'm tying this all with the left side, so you can imagine that the left side is going to be shorter when we are done, and the right side will be longer. Okay, good, so we have that done. Now the next step is you take this and align that. Okay, then you take this and you place it along the back of this loop here from the right side. Once you have that like that, you take your left one and you go along the bottom. Okay, you know what? I think it's easier if I show it to you from the top. This is the one that just went through those loops. You go over a little bit on an angle, and it goes just like this. Okay, through this loop. Whoops. Okay, through the loop. One. And then through the loop a second time. Okay? That's it. There's your Dalet. Okay? Now, you'll see here that this isn't centered. There's obviously a lot more slack over here. Sometimes when you're done, you'll have to just pull it over. And also, remember, when you're pulling it, it's arched like, when you pull through the bias, it's arched like this. And when you're done, you want it to actually be the opposite way. So, you know, sometimes you go like this. There we go. Just to get it at a good angle, because it's much more natural lying on the head when it's arched down, and then if it's reversed. Okay, so you make sure it's center, and you change the Retzuos that it's arching down, and there's your Kesher. Okay. So that's how you tie the Tefillin Shel Rosh for the single Dalet, the Sephardi, the Chabad, and the way many Chassidim wear the Tefillin Shel Rosh. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, like, share the video with people who need to know how to tie the knot, and there'll be more videos coming. Okay.